You sound hot. Are you hot? That's a
Hold on.
line.
It,
That's a
it
line.
is a, it is a line. It is a line. And yes, the answer to that question is yes, Dave. I am hot.
There it is. I figured you'd answer just like that. Welcome, everybody, to DC Fan-imated. I'm, of course, Dave the Film Junkie. With me, as always, Mr. Scott McClellan, and we're doing a pre-recorded show again and premiering it. So we're
Since
not missing a
my
week.
work schedule is wackadoo. So.
Yeah, his schedule is going a little crazy right now. But hey, we're not going to take any more breaks. We're like, you know what? Let's not take more breaks, and we're still going to record the show as if it is live. And like I said, it'll be premiering. I should be in the chat if anybody's chatting it up and stuff like that, just like last week, and it worked. So
I was about to say, how did it go last week? I was at work, so I didn't get to see. So
that's fine. Like I said, it was just it wasn't like never like a ton of people in the chat, of course, but
tomorrow I might actually be able to be in the chat because it's one of those that's like I can like I would not be at work yet. It's just that normally would end the show. I wouldn't be able to do it. So I might actually be in the chat this week as well. You got me thinking. Okay.
There you go. Be in the chat. And there's nothing wrong with doing some interaction. But hit that like, thumbs up, guys. We're talking about yet another episode of Batman Beyond because we're going to be going on a nice long stretch of season 2. And
yes,
we talk about Joyride, which when we talked about it last week, when I heard the title, I was like, does that have to do with? Yep, has to do with the Joker gang. The Joker gang makes their triumphant return.
I don't know.
Their return for
they
sure.
returned at least. It was. It's interesting. I'm not sure how you felt. I was watching this episode, and this was one of the first times that I watched an episode of Batman Beyond that I felt a little bit like a throwaway episode. Not saying
Thank you. I was kind of feeling, I was feeling the same way a little bit. I was kind of going, all right, I don't have a lot of notes because there is just a lot of chasing and action that happens in here. So not really a lot of notes that you really need to, there's not nothing really deep in this episode. Like I said,
no, that's not enjoyable, but there just isn't a lot there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's I think Joker gang. We'll get to the details, but it's just a lot of, hey, stop them. Stop them and make sure that the thing that they stole doesn't blow up in the city.
Right. It's kind of like when we would do some of those Superman the Animated Series episodes where it would be like, we really didn't have a lot to say because we were like, Superman fights a guy a lot. It just
punch. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of that here where it's just like, oh, then they're in the sky again. They're chasing each other. Oh, Batman loses them. Oh, they show up. Oh, it's like, oh, go get them. Oh, it's
doing a recap of this episode would sound really boring from our point of view.
So this is probably not going to be a hefty episode of DC Fan-imated, that's for sure. But I see exactly where you're feeling because I was kind of feeling it too. I'm like, does this even go anywhere, really? We got the Joker gang back. Does it actually push the overall, any kind of like arcs or stories? Is it going to be anything deep in here? Nope, not really.
Not really. No, I will admit, I remember there be like sometimes as we're watching these episodes and we're coming back to these episodes, in this situation, like 25 years later.
Yes.
And sometimes you feel like in the back of your head, like you remember there was more there. And then you watch it and you go, no, this is really all this is really all there is. Yeah.
For some reason I thought, oh yeah, this female character, is she like somebody that's important? She's important for this episode, but it's like, that's it.
No. Yeah, it's a lot of, the Jokers, this is that Joker gang that I feel like saying it's our Joker's gang, because there's really there's two central Joker's gangs in Batman Beyond. There's this gang who we've seen since Rebirth. Like they were the Joker's gang that kind of instigated Terry becoming Batman. They're responsible for that. And then we'll get introduced to the other Joker's gang in Return of the Joker. Like those are your two core groupings. And so this one with the leader and
Gab.
Scab, which okay, so that was one thing for me was he gets a name.
Yeah, we got a name for the leader at least.
No, this isn't Scab isn't the leader.
Remember, I thought he was.
No, remember the leader is the one that looks like Mark Hamill's Joker because
that's right.
Because that's the one that's voiced by Bruce Timm.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He's the Now, you're right. Scab's just the big dude who gets very angry, right?
Right. He's got kind of he's got like the little jester ball, almost like a Santa Claus hat thing going.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So it's interesting in that there's a little bit of gang dynamics. That was probably the most intriguing part of the episode to me, especially when we get into sort of the gang war between the Jokers and the T's.
Yeah, we got the Jokers and the T's, and then of course there's like this other guy that I guess they're trying to recruit to the team, or they're
because he's supposed to be this is supposed to be his initiation. He's supposed to be this is supposed to be the night that he joins the Joker's gang.
Yeah, so we get that whole thing of like, oh, maybe this was a bad idea for me. You get that story arc. So I guess you could say that's the deep part of this episode is the fact that we see this. I don't even know if we know the guy's name. Do we?
We don't. Cole. It's Cole.
Something. I don't know. He's got long hair and whatever, and it's supposed to be initiation night, like you said. But it's like one of those. It's one of those stories where he starts thinking it was a bad idea, and you could already tell when he starts questioning, like all throughout. That's what I love about this kind of character is like questioning every decision that's made, like what and then you get that shot of like, oh, this is so we get a nice
bad. Like it's almost sort of that PSA Saturday morning cartoon. It's all
like G.I. Joe's gonna show up coming out of a bathroom stall. Hey kids,
don't join gangs.
Don't join gangs, especially if they have clown makeup on.
Because let's be honest, Dave, you and me as children of the 80s, we know about PSA cartoons.
Oh, like Jesus Christ. I mean, what cartoon didn't? But I mean, the most notable ones were those G.I. Joe cartoons
because they had the little knowing is half the battle. Literally, there was a PSA that was like the last minute of the episode. Like the episode stopped, and then you get a little, the more you know, dun dun dun, kind of thing at the end of the episode.
And I love how like the Animaniacs kind of made fun of that. Wheel of morality, turn. Tell us a lesson that we should learn. And it would always be something so stupid. Something dumb. And it was like, I mean, they were obviously actively making fun of a PSA thing. They were 100% doing that, and it was great every time because it never made sense. It was like it was something very obvious.
Right.
Something.
Yeah, because I still remember. Okay, we're gonna start off with a tangent here because
we're already tangenting. Like,
absolutely. But do you remember? We're talking late 80s, early 90s. It had to be early 90s.
Okay.
That it was CBS, I think. They did an anti-drug special that was like the ultimate. It was like the Avengers Endgame of Saturday morning cartoon characters. How they all joined in to try to help this one kid choose not to do drugs.
I don't remember that.
Oh God, I just remember it because it had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in it, and like that was the old. Like I was waiting through that entire special just for when the turtles showed up. So
I don't remember that. I mean, maybe I did see it. I mean, I know that, like I said, when you're a child of the 80s, 90s, they try to hit that stuff so hard with Dare and all the things. And this is your bring on drugs.
Everything had a message. It was either message or then you had stuff like Back to the Future that was let's do a science lesson at the end of the episode. Now that was cool though because of Christopher Lloyd doing science lessons.
I will say though that one commercial when it was like, this is your brain, it shows you an egg, and this is your brain on drugs, and it shows the egg being fried. It made me never want to eat eggs like that. So they, at least got that. I mean, not like I don't do drugs or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know why, but seeing the eggs like in the frying and everything, I was like,
the sunny side up.
yeah, I'm like never gonna eat eggs like that, and I never did for the longest time. I always scrambled if I had eggs. So at least
So that
they freak
explains
me
your
out on
brain.
eggs.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
scrambled your brain instead. Okay, I got it.
yeah. But there you go. There's our tangent on PSAs in the '90s. But yeah, so obviously we start off with the Joker gang on their bikes, and they're doing this recruitment night thing. But then immediately we see this new ship, this vehicle that is looks like a military vehicle, and it starts kind of tracking them down and kind of messing with them a little bit. Obviously, though, when the two pilots are in there, and they're totally just, I mean, this when it's something pretty fast and pretty crazy when they're totally covered, they got helmets on, oxygen.
Oh yeah. They're
Yeah.
they're in complete like enviro suits. Like
Yes.
it's serious. But they start because there's that female voice that's like asking for like talk to me, temperature, speed, like all the, give me the vital signs basically. And they talk about the engine temperature, and she's like, "Oh shit. Bring
Yeah.
the thing down right now."
Yeah. It's like 280. It's like the temperature's like 280 or something. There's a number
Yeah,
that says
280. Yeah, because he was like,
yeah.
yes, 280.
Yeah.
Like,
And it was like, nope, bring it down and run.
run.
Bring it down and run away. Just, it's like, okay, interesting. So of course they do that, but then they pissed off the Joker's gang, so the Joker gang, so they kind of follow that. And of course, one it's a UFO, man. I mean, it does look
Yeah,
like a
whichever
UFO.
one joke. There was a name for that guy, but
Yeah.
he was just a weird one with like he was basically wearing a tube top with uh oh god, with like cargo pants, like those
Mhm.
really wide leg. God, I had those. I
You
had
had
pairs of
those?
those. I had those. Yeah, I
Do
did.
you have pictures?
I do not have pictures.
Your parents probably do.
I'm sure they do somewhere.
Oh man, that's
God.
hilarious. Funny. But yeah, so then they track him down, and as soon as the pilots like run out, they get attacked by the Joker gang. And then of course they take the ship, because they know how to fly it. Why not? It's probably easy.
It's
I mean,
like Lois flying the T-sphere in Superman.
yeah.
It's like,
You just
it's
you just
intuitive.
You just have to, yeah. You just have I mean, how many movies you can get Independence Day? There's like, oh yeah, just pull, push. That's all you got to do. It's like everything's pretty easy, even though it's like this crazy technology. No matter what, people, if you know how to fly one, you can fly them all. It's like that's right. That's one of those things where that's the suspension of disbelief when it comes to a lot of movies. When there's some kind of not normal ship, hey, long as they have a little bit of flying experience, maybe you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. As long as you've been a pilot of some
Yeah.
sort, or you've played, or in some cases, if you're a kid who's played a flight simulator on a
Yes.
computer, you can
Yes.
fly
Last
anything.
Starfighter.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love the Last Starfighter.
So do I. I'm
I
not saying
love.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying that movie. I had a crush on that girl so much.
Oh,
What was
tell
her name?
me about it. She was
Yeah.
so hot.
She was
Well,
also
she
in
was.
Weekend at Bernie's. She
Oh,
was the
that's right.
girl in
She
Weekend at
was.
Bernie's.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
and
Weekend at
I
Bernie's in
watched the end of
forever.
that over this weekend when I was in the hotel room. I watched Weekend at Bernie's over the end of it at least, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about her. I forgot her name, but man,
I forgot, but she was also like, but she was hot in that Girl Next Door kind of
oh,
way.
totally Girl Next Door. That's pretty much what she played all the
Yeah,
time. So, I mean, I only remember in a few things. She was also Night of the Comet, if you remember that movie.
I do
That one.
not remember this
Yeah,
movie.
Night of the Comet. Look that one up. That's a
Okay.
classic. But anyways, oh man, tangents.
Well, you can always tell when an episode doesn't have a lot for us to talk
Yes.
about.
So
That's
we
one of
just
the we find other things. Like, we're gonna fill the time, folks.
we're gonna fill some time. We're gonna give you at least 45 minutes, and in order to do that, we got to talk about random shit. But yeah, so they take over they get the ship, and then of course this other ship shows up, who we finally meet this woman, this mysterious woman, because she does she takes off her helmet reveal when she sees like it flies off, and you're like, who is that? Dun dun dun. I did
Dr.
recognize the voice.
Price.
Is that
Yes,
what it
I
is?
recognize the voice too, but she's one of those people that you don't know her by name, but
Nope.
you see her and you go,
So many things. So many things.
so many things.
The thing that hits me the most was she was one of the cast members in Just Shoot Me. I don't know if you
Yeah,
ever watched that TV
I
show.
did not watch
Okay.
that, but
Yeah.
but she's awesome. But her just so we know, her name is Wendy Malick.
There you go. That I remember. I've heard the name, but yeah, I just can't.
Yeah,
Never can
but
remember.
she's one of those she's one of those character actresses that you just go, yep,
Yeah.
you've seen her
See her
and
face?
you
Yeah.
see her face and you go, oh, I've seen her in 1,000 things. You can't exactly name them sometimes,
No.
but you're like, oh, I know what she was in the last season of Frasier.
Oh yeah, she was probably in every sitcom. I mean, I remember
Yes.
she was in she had a she I remember like the sitcoms I watched, I remember she just showing up for one episode. I mean, she has worked consistently from probably from the 80s all the way. She's probably still working
Oh, she's
consistently.
still working, like
Yeah.
cause she still does things. But yeah, but in the 90s, like she would be if you needed the stuck up bitchy character,
Yeah.
that's who she played.
She has
Like
that voice. And she
she
was
does.
exactly that character in Just Shoot Me, that consistent character where she was kind of like the work because it was all took place at a model agency. And she was kind of like she worked within that, but she was like the outdated, like older model who was like always jealous of like younger models. And all that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think I always remember the title of the show. I don't think I actually knew
yeah.
what the concept was.
That's what
Okay.
the concept. But they were working at a model agency, and David Spade was like the receptionist guy, and what's anyways another tangent. Just shoot me. Yes, guys. Let's talk about that.
Was it an ABC comedy?
I think it was NBC. I don't know. I
NBC.
don't
Okay.
remember. Maybe it was NBC. I think it was NBC, but
Okay.
dun, dun, dun. But yeah, so then of course she of course calls him and is just kind of like letting him know like that, need to return the ship. And then that's where you get that line like, you sound hot. Are you hot? So that's where we get
I'm
that
like
line.
every babe I've ever met already telling me what to do. It's just
It's so crude.
it's so well,
Uh,
it really it ties into a line that happens later when
yeah,
Batman tells Dr. Price that it was the Jokers that took the ship, and she goes, "Madmen," and he goes, "No, kids." And
yeah,
it's like, and this episode really, I mean, the episode's even called Joyride, which doesn't feel like something that young people really do these days.
nah.
It
Yeah, when you get your parents' car and let's go for a joyride, No, I
Yeah,
don't think that's a
it
thing anymore.
I don't. Yeah, I mean the way you like cap capsulate joyriding is like American Graffiti. Like
Hmm,
that's like that whole movie is
yeah.
basically about
It's
one
one
night of
big
a
joyride.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I feel like this episode really focuses on how immature these jokers are, that they're drawn and they look like adults,
yeah,
but they're really just big kids. Like even the one that's with Scab says, "You can read."
yeah,
It's it kind of gives you. If I'm going to get, I mean, we've been kind of harsh on this episode just because of
yeah,
its superficiality. But if we wanted to talk about something that it does do really well, is that it really does characterize and humanize this Joker's gang. You
yeah,
feel like at least in general the group a little bit better, and you got these couple of gang members which you've at least seen Scab since Rebirth. He
yeah.
was there, but you feel like you get to know them as characters instead of just being random gang members that dress like Jokers.
It's true. And then of course, they get the rest of the gang, and then they go, "Hey, what should we do first? How about some beefy burgers?"
Beefy, I know,
Kind of
beefy.
creative. Kind of
I
creative.
kind of creative, yeah.
It's kind of like a Bob's Big Boy because they have like the statue and he's like holding the burger, in a sense. But I was like, oh, beefy burgers. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad.
It wasn't. I was okay. So they go through the drive-through. They don't pay the 60 units
Yeah,
for, which actually these days that's a steal compared to the amount of food they were ordering. Because
I
I
know. It's like how many burgers? Jesus Christ.
I know, right? I dropped took the boys to the movies today. I dropped $70 on 2 popcorns, 4 drinks, and 3 candies. Like,
Good Lord. Oh man, rough.
yeah, that's everyone wants to talk about what's the problem with movie theaters these days.
That's it right
That's
there.
it right
Folks.
there. That wasn't even the
Oh,
tickets. That was
that was
that
condiments,
was
yeah.
purely
Or
for
not,
the food.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's snacks and everything. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that is what the big problem is. But of course, yeah, they do that and they shoot the statue, and then who's there? Terry.
And he gets
Terry's there.
ketchup on his shoe.
Damn it. That's
I
gonna
mean,
piss off anybody. I mean,
I
not
mean,
necessarily.
I mean, no, I mean, there's almost like it's almost a parody. It's almost like you see the Batman eyes come in when the ketchup like splatters on his shoes, and he's like, "Damn you."
My turn. But then we kind of get like a cool little, all right, now I'm going to do my whole little, well, this is how I'm going to chase these guys. And he hits his little button on his belt. Beep, boop, beep. Activate the Batmobile in the Batcave for it to autopilot to him. And then, of course, find a little alleyway, put on the suit, get into the
But okay, but
Batmobile.
here's the thing: he's already wearing the suit as he walks into the alleyway, but he hasn't put the mask on yet. I'm
Of
like,
course, yeah. It's I don't know, like, is it underneath? Is it in a special compartment thing in his belt too? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if it's underneath. Doesn't seem like it is because obviously it's long sleeves and he has short sleeve underneath. So do they ever really show like where he keeps?
one time in one episode, there was a storage compartment in the dashboard of his motorcycle.
Okay, yeah. So
And he would like press the
yeah.
button, he would open up, and then the suit was
That makes sense. That's right.
there. Yeah.
Forget that he has a motorcycle. So there you go. But yeah, but you'd have to have that dramatic, like put the cal on. Nobody cares about anything else. You don't want to see him like, fixing his boots and like jumping, doing that jump thing. You want to see the cool, like putting
There's
yes.
always the cool, like,
put on the cal. Yeah.
Cal
So
on the
see
cowl.
that instead. You don't want to see him try to adjust as he's put his tights on. That's the awkward stuff that you don't want to see a superhero doing. But yeah, so he gets in and then of course tracks him down. And we don't get much Bruce in this. We don't.
No, because
Yeah.
we literally get this one scene where he's like chasing the Jokers, then get them. And like,
even Bruce is like, yeah, this is throwaway. Just get him. I'm working on something else that's way more important than
I'm in my microscope. Yeah. I'm looking in my microscope. Whatever's in that microscope is really fucking important to Bruce.
Yes, there's something way more important than this Joker game stealing a military vehicle or a military ship. And so, yeah, I mean, that kind of shows you right there where not even Bruce Wayne really cares about what's going on in this, because we see one time.
That's so funny. I didn't actually think about that. Like,
yeah,
even Bruce is like, yeah, this is a throwaway episode.
Yeah. But he catches up to him, and then of course we get a little chase sequence. We do all that, and then
but the Batmobile gets shot out of the sky,
and then of course as that one guy's still the recruitment guy is like, what are we doing here? This is crazy. And then obviously they were like, oh, we're going to take him on, we're going to take on the Batman. Of course, Batman kicks all their asses, and then they get back. Some of them get back into the ship. And it's just like, that guy's like, whatever happened to, I forgot exactly what it says. That's where you start seeing like, oh yeah, this guy is he's totally hating the fact that he decided to try to join these guys because it's all just been ridiculous.
Well, what happened to showing him?
Yeah. Oh, that's what he says. That's right. That's what he says. What happened to showing him? Shut up. So of course they take off, and then this is where, let's see, the gang, and then and then
At this point, when Dr. Price shows up, and they finally decide to team up, and we find out that he tells her that's Jokers. She tells him about that there's a nuclear reactor. I thought it was interesting the fact that he said that, because we've seen nuclear stuff radiation stuff being used. It was interesting to hear that a nuclear reactor in a vessel had been outlawed at this point.
So it was like, oh, it's illegal. What?
Yeah. I was like, well, what did you expect to do with the money that I had? And So,
So yeah,
so
we
that
get that. So we get that little. He gets into her ship, and obviously she's being that whole like that's classified, that's class, and he's just like, hey, we're gonna help each other. You got to tell me some shit, and then that's when she does, and then that's where you were talking about where it's just like Mad Men. It's like yeah, but they're kids. You got to think like kids. And it's like, okay, yeah, let Batman do some of that thinking because it's like, hey, I mean, obviously she can't tell that he's a kid himself.
yeah, that was a
Yeah,
little that I felt was like a little not so subtle on Terry's part, like
yeah,
but the
yeah,
idea though is that he knows that there's a gang war, so they're gonna follow around to like
yeah.
and
Because we get the devastation of part of the T gang that was out and about. They got blasted upon by the Joker gang because obviously there's a lot of artillery on this ship, so they got
yeah.
blasted up. And of course, Batman goes down and sees that, and it's like, well, they're most likely going to be, of course, they're going to be headed like that way. But then, of course, when they're in the plane, this is where it's kind of funny because, obviously when they're doing all their shit and they kind of know, like, all right, and they find him again, and we get like another little chase sequence, and then she's like, hey, here's a key, you got to get that, you got to get the key to deactivate the ship, and blah blah blah, and he's just like, what the fuck, and then she just like, ejects him, like essentially like, go and do it, sorry, we're not wasting any time here. But naturally they get away after this whole crazy chase sequence. Then she gets shot down. I mean,
How did she survive that, by the way? I was like,
oh well,
that was
I
bullshit.
mean,
That is if I'm going to give this episode a hard time about anything, her ship goes nose first into the fucking ground, and she's still alive. No, that is bullshit.
yeah, and it's kind of
No.
funny too because when Batman's doing his thing flying around after like breaks away from the ejector seat and stuff, and then sees everything that happens, and the fact that he couldn't catch him because the Joker gang's been doing pretty good for getting away in this vehicle in this ship. I keep wanting
And
to say
also pay
vehicle.
attention to the fact that they shoot down the Batmobile.
Yes,
They also then no, this was a cool continuity thing. They shoot Batman's wings. So
yes,
if you notice, he can never fly for the rest of the episode.
yeah,
He has
yeah.
to always do the Batman Beyond version of the grappling gun, which is almost like Spider-Man shooting webbing. Be like it,
Seriously. But it's funny because I even thought, oh, did she die in this? Because when he like goes and gets her, opens up the wreckage, she looks like she's kind of lifeless.
because she's like,
Yeah, she's like that. I'm like, oh man, did she die? And then of course he pulls her out, and then she's just like, we'll get him. Yeah, doing the cough thing.
the cough cough. I'm
Yeah,
alive. Cough cough.
yeah. What happened? Well, they got away. And he's like, you got to go get him. I'll be all right in a couple of. It's not going to be all right in a couple of minutes, kind of thing. So she is going, leave me be. That thing's going to blow up because that thing is going to be overheating. Which, of course, when it comes to the Joker game, they do kind of like land and things are smoking and not working, and the ship is starting to fall apart.
Well, because it's been fucked up. I mean,
Yeah, it's fucked up too, but it's overheating too. You're
right,
seeing
yeah,
smoke.
that reactor is about to breach,
Yeah.
but they don't. But it's amazing. It's like glowing and like pulsating in the back, and nobody. That's another thing that tells you how dumbass these Jokers are. No one notices the big red glowy thing in the back is like going critical. I mean, that's
That
ridiculous.
should be a big warning sign, especially when you're flying a vehicle that you have no expertise on. And then when they finally do start taking off, all it does is take just hitting that control panel, and it just turns right back on. Of course, it's like when Marty just hits the steering wheel with his forehead. Hey, the DeLorean just yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
It takes a
dun,
little bit, of
dun,
course. But so obviously they take off again, but we have that one dude that we saw
and
who
the crop
wears
top.
yeah, and that all he falls out because he had the door open because it's smoking in there, and he falls out of the ship, and then Batman shows up. And of course, questions him, and of course, he has loyalty. But then then he just kind of breaks that loyalty pretty quickly.
Well, because he's like Batman's like, well, they left you. So even
Yeah,
though it's like it's not really they really left you. You're the dumbass hanging outside
he
an
fell
open
off.
door and fell off.
Yeah.
Just yeah, you can poke some holes in this episode. Not gonna
Of
lie.
course you can. Of course you can. But then naturally, where are they going to go? They're going to, now that they have this ship, well, let's just take out the whole T gang. Why not?
Yeah,
And
go
show
to
up at their headquarters.
Big T's headquarters. Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you about the T gang.
Okay.
So the T's are painted on their face, kind of like Mr. Terrific. That was
Yeah,
the
I know. I was thinking, were they had it? That had to be an inspiration, right?
I don't know because also with the painting of their face, it reminded me of okay, in The Dark Knight Returns. Do you
Yeah.
remember how there's always like those 2 or 3 gang members? They start off as mutants at the beginning of the
Yeah.
series, but then
Yeah.
it's kind of Frank Miller's commentary that like
Mhm.
they like shift their loyalty to all these different gangs throughout
Mhm.
the book because they're always getting interviewed by like the news
Mhm.
throughout, with because that's another part of Frank Miller is that media commentary he does,
Yeah.
and they're constantly repainting their faces because they're constantly joining whatever the hot gang. I mean, they become son of Batman, by the end. They paint the bats on their faces, but that way of that they have their faces painted just I think they definitely had to be taking some inspiration from the way the gangs were portrayed in The Dark Knight Returns. Even so much so that Big T is voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson. Of course, who we talked about before, that big black guy with that
Yes.
wonderful voice. And even when they did Legends of the Dark Knight in Batman the Animated Series, and they did that Dark Knight Returns sequence, he was the voice of the mutant leader
Mhm.
in The Dark Knight Returns next to Michael Ironside's, Batman, and he's the voice of Big T. So I don't know. I just got some Dark Knight Returns vibes from the T gang, like,
Yeah, I could see
and
that.
so it was, not nearly as twisted maybe as some of the gangs are in the Dark Knight Returns, but it was
True.
there. I felt like.
No, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even consider that until you said that. That's probably, yeah. But I was obviously fresh off of Superman coming out, a few weeks ago. It's just the fact that Mr. Terrific. You're just thinking, well, they got T's on their face. They must be inspired, and they're called the T's. And I was like, well, maybe it's short for the Terrifics, and maybe they were inspired. But then you go, why would they be inspired? And then
Right.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, why would they be inspired by? Or do they have like their own little T spheres? Like, what are they actually doing? And yeah, I like what you came up with right there more than them being inspired by Mr. Terrific for
Right.
sure.
Because now in universe, we are going to have Mr. Terrific, but it's going to be way down the line.
Yeah,
That's not until Justice League Unlimited.
yeah,
Uh, but still, like, so, I mean, it's not like I went there too with the T's, but I just, there just wasn't, I think there was, I wish there had been more, I'm not sure explanation is the word I want, but more context to
yeah.
like we get the Joker's gang, like that makes sense. But
So who are these guys?
who are these guys? Yeah,
They like
that's
to play pool. You know, they're
and
playing
hang
pool.
out in an abandoned subway station. What is it
Yeah,
about abandoned
they're
subway
playing
stations?
pool in what looks like an abandoned subway station. Apparently, the balls, the pool balls, they explode when they fall
Go
into
in
the
the pocket.
pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very interesting. I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, in the future, I guess you got to jazz up some billiards.
Well, you know
Um,
what? If I was stuck in a subway, I'd probably have exploding balls too. It's
Zing. Anyways,
zing.
but yeah, and then Batman shows up. And then just just flat out just tells them, just leave right
Leave.
now. And they all just stand there looking at him like, the fuck? Seriously? You're just gonna say that? And of course, I like how he does like a cool little swift down the escalator, like railing, kind of like it's like, hey, I'm just gonna slide down and look cool and tell them all to leave. And of course, naturally, that doesn't work.
But I think it's interesting that like there's that one guy that he actually goes, please. Like, and that's always interesting because it always shows you the difference between Terry and Bruce. Bruce
Mm,
would have just beat the shit out of them and been
yeah.
like, "Get out of
Just
here."
shown up, somebody landed on one of them, jumped on another, stay in the shadows. But Terry just like, hey, you need to leave. Okay. But, I think in this case, it was like, well, Bruce's way probably would have been better for sure,
Ah,
because they weren't going to lead. And then, of course, they attack them, and we get another little fight scene. Again, a lot of action. A lot of
a lot of
action.
action, very, very action
Yeah.
heavy episode. Yeah.
And then, after that all happens, that's where the Joker gang shows up. It's kind of funny, though, how Terry beat them to there. Hey, again,
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense why he
it
would be.
doesn't. Yeah, because
Doesn't know.
they're in a super vehicle. I keep on saying vehicle. I mean, do you call a flying thing a vehicle, or does it have to be
Yeah,
on the?
yeah, it's still a vehicle.
Yeah, you
A
can, right?
vehicle, yeah, a vehicle
Yeah,
is actually. You know what? I'm gonna
yeah.
picture.
Because I'm like, is a vehicle technically? And there's another tangent because I keep on saying it. And I even wrote it on my notes, vehicle. But I'm like, yeah, but is it a vehicle if it flies? I mean, is
Oh
a
yeah.
plane?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
A vehicle is a machine designed for transporting people or goods, typically with wheels and an engine.
Okay, so
Uh,
typically, okay.
but it also says the term encompasses a wide range of conveyances, including cars, trucks, trains, and even space vehicles.
See, there you go. So, I'm not wrong too much. Anyway,
No,
so this is
I never understood why you were having to. My whole thing this entire episode has been like, why is Dave so opposed to calling it a vehicle?
I don't know
understand.
because it flies, and I just think vehicle, and I think
But
tires.
vehicle
Yeah,
is just a conveyance,
yeah, yeah.
something that moves you
I was
from,
too, I was too, I was too busy. Yeah, we should title this episode "Dave Second Guesses Himself About Vehicle." Too much. But this is where we're gonna pop in, where they pop into this little underground layer. So that's cracked in there. The thing's smoking a little bit.
So where are they
Evil.
all?
like shooting anyway.
There he's already.
Where did the cable come from? The cable just came out of nowhere. I mean,
Yeah, it was just lying there. Let me just hold it on.
it feels like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Let's hook the ship to the pole.
What's that?
Always like that, yeah.
Of course, I'm like, would it stop the vehicle, or would the vehicle just rip the? As I say,
It's a killer, yeah. But then it backfired. Whoopsie. So you might want to get out of there. That smoke is also green now.
Well, I mean, it's like knockout gas. I'm gonna assume.
Oh
Of
yeah,
course,
that's right. That was from these little ball things. I forgot.
his balls, right?
Yeah, his balls. Up. Oh!
Okay. Why does Scab put the
Now,
bandana up
lads.
around his face? I mean,
Probably because of the
seriously.
gas.
The reactor's overloaded.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. Nice
Thank
try.
you. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
I
give
think
you
it's
that.
gas.
Look at it.
Yeah, so he's actually,
That can't stop it.
as dumb as he is, still
Can't do
smart.
it.
He's also smart.
Are you out of your mind?
You're out of your mind.
I'm not giving
But
this
then he
up.
takes it off.
For once in my life, I've got some real power.
For
You never
once
had
in
any
my
with the
life,
Jokers?
I've got
Don't make me
someone
laugh.
who
They were
needs
just
me.
a crutch.
Yeah.
Someone who
So's this ship.
There's
Yeah,
the
but it's a crutch
there's
with
that
my
one
Initiate.
dude, like,
I'm telling you, it won't last.
Maybe, maybe not. But you won't be around to care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look him out. Ponytail, earring dude. With the key. Always a key.
Pull out the core. Shut it down.
Oh. Dun, dun, dun. And then this guy's like, yep, fuck this.
Yep, fuck this.
I ain't doing this.
I
That's good.
love the sound. I love the Foley for the
Oh,
nose.
man. So good. So loud.
Like,
And he just walks away. It's like, he'll walk away, and then the scab here starts losing his goddamn mind.
Acting like my children having a hissy fit. Yeah.
There you go. And that's the end. Not much there. Batman just walks off.
Yeah, he does. He does. Like I said, it's not that it's a bad episode.
No.
But since we do a discussion show, it doesn't really give us a lot to discuss.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're still feeling. We're 40 minutes in, so we're still doing a good job.
Thank you, tangents about
tangents and everything. But yeah, it's just one of those. It's not a bad episode. It's a lot of action, but like I said, we can now gauge whether it's a throwaway episode by just how much Bruce Wayne cares.
Yes. That's our. Thank you. That is now our measuring stick. How much does Bruce give a shit?
Yeah, he did not give a shit on this one. He's all, this is small potatoes. I'm working on something more important. You get them. That's just all you. You don't need to talk to me. So, but yeah, like I said, still a decent episode. Joker Gang.
It's an enjoyable episode for a Saturday morning cartoon. It just doesn't do. It just doesn't move the needle a whole lot.
Yeah, but what do we got next week?
Next week's a good episode. I remember this episode. Yeah. Next week is the episode. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure I get the title right. Lost Soul.
Lost Soul. God. Okay. I just went back and I see the thumbnail on HBO.
The thumbnail, right? The thumbnail makes you go, oh, like the title. The title wouldn't have given me anything.
Yeah.
But once I saw the thumbnail, I was like, "Oh yeah, the entire episode."
Yeah, something is like triggered in my brain. I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that. Ooh, that's gonna be good." Yeah, you're right. That is gonna be a good one if I remember correctly. Okay, yeah, got it. Good. They have a good thumbnail. Sometimes they don't have good thumbnails.
Sometimes the thumbnail's like, "This gives me shit."
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, well there you go, guys. We'll be watching Lost Soul next week, and next week we'll be back doing it live. Not quite.
I've had. Hold on. Let me double check because
But
see.
we'll do this thing as we're doing. It's no big deal.
Yes, we will be back. We will be back doing it live next week. Confirmed.
Okay, we'll do it live next week.
Sorry, folks. I had to check my work schedule on my phone.
That's what happens. I mean, you're up there in a, helping managing grocery stores and stuff like that. That's just what happens. It's it's not a 9 to 5.
No, it's not a 9 to 5.
So
usually it's more like a 4 to 1.
Yeah. So, geez. So anyways, we'll be watching that next week. Again, fun episode to even talk about going off on tangents. We still have a good time no matter what, even if it feels like a throwaway episode. But go ahead and promote, Scott. Anything you have?
I have some goodies to promote this week.
Yeah, you have a specific goodie that was.
Okay. So, of course, follow me on X at Scott DC27, on Vero at Scott McClellan, or on Letterbox at Scott McClellan Scott DC27. Make sure you subscribe to the Squawkcast Media YouTube channel, where you can check out my unboxing video of my Batman 2.0 Hot Toys release from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, the deluxe edition, because I go big or go home. It's like it's a short video. It's only about 3 minutes long, but you get to see all the accessories coming out of the box, and then you get to see the final pose that I have displayed him, because he is literally like, I could reach and touch him like right now. He's right there as he shoots. The one thing you don't see in the picture, but just in the video, is that I did put on the attachment of the grappling cable shooting out of the gun.
Yeah. I remember seeing like the pictures of it, and it shows that kind of like, the rope. Yeah. Kind of.
There's actually 2 different ropes. There's a straight one where the grappling hook is closed. And then there's another one that the grappling hook has opened up, and the cable has a coil in it, like it's like it's unwinding. So
That's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah,
saw
so I
that.
got that on the Squadcast Media YouTube channel. And then, of course, if you follow me over at Letterboxd, I saw 3 movies in the theater this past weekend.
Look at you
So
go.
I know. So please check out my reviews for The Naked Gun, Sketch, and The Bad Guys 2, along with all my reviews for the original Naked Gun trilogy, which I finished before going to see the new one. And I also watched the 1973 Three Musketeers movie directed by Richard Lester,
Oh, wow.
produced by the Salkinds. This is the movie that generated the relationship that got the Salkinds to bring Richard Lester in to replace Donner on the Superman movies.
Yeah. Interesting. Man,
so
I haven't
trust
seen
me.
that. I haven't seen that original. Well, I don't know if it's the original one, but it's one of the first ones, right? They probably had one before that.
Oh, they had lots before. But this
Yeah, yeah.
this is a landmark one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead, however, and tell you my overall thoughts about it. The 90s Disney version is a far better movie.
Oh yeah, the 90s one has not been defeated yet.
Oh,
the
no.
one is so good. That's the best one.
That's the best one. There's a 2-part French one starring Ava Green that is on, and she plays Milady, and that's on Hulu that I need to watch because it's Ava Green.
Yeah. Have you seen what she looks like?
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Have you watched Casino Royale or Sin City 2?
Just look up the poster that she's in.
I have that poster. I have that poster.
It's a wowzer poster.
It's a wowzer poster. So check out. So I got all those reviews, and I've got that. I got the unboxing video. So it's been a very productive week for me. So, but I do, however, want to say, folks, because everyone's seeing The Naked Gun. I hope it's hilarious. Even I found it funny, and comedy is, I don't do stupid. Like Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, not my speed. Naked Gun movie made me laugh my ass off the whole time. But I do want to say Sketch is this wonderful little independent movie from Angel Studios, which I just said is like Angel Studios is they're taking a swing with this movie, by the way, and it's feeling like they're becoming like the family-friendly A24.
That's what it seems like, and they do well too.
They have a very specific, they have a standard niche of like the either religious or inspirational movies, but they do but they've done other types of movies as well. But this one, I love it because it's about art, grief, and emotional healing.
Who stars in that?
The only name is Tony Hale.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a guy that if you saw his face, you've seen him in some comedies.
Yeah.
But he plays the dad. But it's about a little girl whose sketchbook falls into a magical pond, and all the monsters that she's been drawing because of her anger and grief come to life. And
Tony Hale was in Arrested Development.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
So the movie is about, it's kind of literally about defeating your inner demons.
Gotcha.
In this case, like when an elementary school girl's monsters that she's drawn come to life. But it feels like Goosebumps. Like it's it's PG and family friendly, but it's got like music cues and a tone that feels like you're watching a horror movie.
Okay.
It's so hard to describe, but I just want people to see it because I was scared. I could get creeped out, but then it could also make me cry. It did a lot. The movie was doing a lot of things.
That's cool. Yeah, I know. I saw you post about it. I was like, I have not heard anything about this movie. So.
I saw Amanda Reviews on X shared someone who talked about it. Then I saw the poster at the theater, and then it just opened in Birmingham. Like literally yesterday, on Monday was the first day it had opened. And since it's Angel Studios, it's a very limited release. But it's, I don't know. I want people to give it a shot. It's one of those small movies that I want to like. Yeah. That I want to champion. It's like, go check it out.
It's like we're done with summer blockbusters, everybody. We got through summer blockbuster season. Now let's start watching some random shit.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
let's start supporting the little guy. You know, let's get the little guys going. So yeah, but like I said, Angel Studios does fairly well, and they've really built a name for themselves. Yeah, some people might just look at it, oh, it's just conservative propaganda. No, it's not that. It's not.
It's
politics.
not that, but it's about making
Yeah.
movies that the entire family can watch.
Yeah, it's family movies. Yes, they go for the religious, but they also go for the spiritual. It doesn't have to. I've watched some of those type of movies thinking, oh shit, what Bible thumping shit is this going to be? No, it ends up being like, oh, you know what? That was kind of heartwarming. That was kind of like had a good message. And I'm not a religious person, and I got the message kind of thing. Yeah.
But they're focused on like PG, like movies you could feel safe watching with your kids, kind of deal.
That too. Something for everybody. All right. Well, we got that. And then, of course, hit that like, thumbs up. And look forward to, of course, Film Junkie Not So Live tomorrow. I'll be doing my show.
Tomorrow being that aired like 2 hours before this thing airs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. So look forward to that. Same time for both of these. Obviously, well, I know, why am I even saying like, oh yeah,
I like
make sure you watch DC Fan-imated tomorrow. Hello, and then I'm like, yeah, duh, Jesus Christ, they totally just clicked right now that we're not doing this live.
We're not doing this live.
Fucking A, yeah. So hopefully you guys watched Film Junkie Not So
Live. Yeah,
and hopefully you watch this too.
And maybe you watch the member stream if it works this week.
Yes, I know, stupid thing. So hopefully you guys watched all that. But hey, we'll see you for the Vodka stream. The Vodka stream's going to be there. We're doing this before the Vodka stream shows up, so at least we got that. And after having 2 weeks off, and so yeah, at least there's that you could look forward to after watching this. There you go. Oh, that was funny. Totally just hilarious. Brain fart.
No one's actually watching us right now, Dave.
Since we're talking about Naked Gun, I might as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys, hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe, do all the things, and yes, guys, we'll talk to you later.